Hi, I'm Dr. Patricia Amborn, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is a space where I'm going to share information on transformative partnerships and the principles of servant leadership. I'm going to give you some ideas that I hope you'll consider so you can implement them into your personal and professional lives. I have taken somewhat of a strange path to get here, though. I believe I'm starting at the end. In 2013, when I was working on my Ph.D. dissertation, I was focusing on corporate social responsibility. And then my mother became ill, and then she died. And having the experience of being her caregiver while trying to navigate through the sometimes confusing and sometimes frustrating healthcare system, I decided that I needed to study death. So I put away a dissertation that was halfway done to understand death and dying, because I believed that we could do death better in America. In 2020, I published a book which told my mother's story and shared the information of my research. And I discovered through writing the book that I really can't expect people to care about death and dying or caring for those who are dying, because sometimes the experience I was exposed to was that we don't even care about our family or friends or neighbors or coworkers. It led me to asking, how can we learn empathy for each other? And as a teacher, it got me to thinking, how can we teach empathy? My experience in writing my dissertation and in writing my book led me to believe that we can do death better in America, but I think more importantly, it led me to believe that we can do life better in America. So I have spent most of my academic career teaching self-care classes and business-related classes, and that may seem an odd mix to you. But I was inspired by the words of Charles Dickens in his 1843 classic novella, A Christmas Carol, and I'm going to read this for you. So Ebenezer says to Marley, "But you were always a good man of business." And Marley screams back at Ebenezer, "Business? Mankind was my business. The common welfare was my business. Charity, mercy, forbearance, and benevolence were all my business. The dealings of my trade were but a drop of water in the comprehensive ocean of my business." And the first time I read those words, I remember thinking, Dickens got it right. So future videos will focus on creating an understanding of how we can do business better. And also that will flow into how we can do our lives better. But for the first video series that is on my YouTube channel, we're talking about dying. So I'd like to share some information about the videos on dying lessons. First of all, we made 8 of them, and we initially thought that it would take us days to film all of the footage, but we got it done all in one day. So the outfit that I'm wearing in video number 1 is the same outfit I'm wearing in videos 2 through 8, and I'm in the same room. If you didn't like the outfit I wore in number 1, you're going to hate it in 2 through 8. And one of my friends told me that my necklace was absolutely horrifying. So lucky for you, in future videos I have other shawls and less terrifying necklaces. In the first video, I was holding on to my cup of chai tea for dear life. And that's because I was feeling rather terrified of doing all of this filming. But it also was because talking about death is not comfortable. It wasn't comfortable for me to experience it with my mother. It wasn't comfortable for me to research it. It wasn't comfortable for me to interview others. Most of my interviews ended up with me sobbing on the way home. So that was one of the reasons why the cup of chai tea gave me comfort. It was something familiar. Talking about death is scary. In the second video, I talk about the Dying Patients Bill of Rights. And I said that this Bill of Rights was created in Detroit, Michigan, but it actually is Lansing, Michigan. So I apologize for that incorrect information. In the 5th video, I'm using the word coma to describe the state of my mother. And actually she was unresponsive for days, but nobody ever gave me that medical diagnosis of coma. So I think this is an area where, we use terms differently, but I wanted to let you know that she was just unresponsive. And finally, my whole series and my book talks about the challenge of navigating through the healthcare system. My experience doing this was not very positive, but I want to let you know that there are many, many individuals out there who put their heart and soul into caring for our aged and our sick and our dying. And so these people are heroic, and they're leading with a servant leader's heart. So I believe that one of the reasons why my experience may have been so negative is because I didn't know what my role was. I didn't know how I was supposed to be a loving daughter and still a caregiver and still understand what the medical professionals were telling me. So I wanted to let you know that what I believe this is to be or should be is a collaborative effort. Caring for a loved one takes sacrifice. My question is, who should be doing that sacrifice? Who should be offering that sacrifice? Can we still be loving sons and daughters and friends and husbands and wives and still join people on this journey into death, which is so unknown and filled with uncertainty? So this all brings me back to my original plan, transformational partnerships and servant leadership. I think that if we are thinking of our mortality, we'll make better decisions while we're actually living. And those decisions can help us all contribute to the world in a much more positive way, and by the way, have a better life while we're doing it. So, speaking of transformative partnerships, I am very grateful for the work of Devin Weeman, who is a 19-year-old sophomore film student at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. The relationship we have together is an example of this transformative partnership where we respect each other's experiences and wisdom, and we inspire each other to be more creative. So I'm very grateful for that, and I'm looking forward to working with Devin in future videos. I have been inspired lately by the writings of the Talmud, and at the end of every video, you'll see this quote: "Do not be daunted by the enormity of the world's grief. Do justly now, walk humbly now, love mercy now. You are not required to fix everything, but nor are you free to ignore it." And I'm sort of paraphrasing that. But these words I have taken very much to heart because the world is grieving right now. There's a world of hurt right now. And so this video series is my gift to a grieving world. As a teacher, this is something I can do. So I'm grateful for you joining me on this journey. I look forward to sharing information that I've learned through 2 decades of studying business and theology. And, let's enjoy the journey together. Thanks.